Today I'm tackling the problem of spell components with some props,
focusing on gemstones.
I'm going to be making 3 different varieties of this build, from laser cutting, 3D printing, all the way down to cardboard bits from the dollar shop, so that literally anyone could make this build at different levels depending on what you have access to and your skill level. Now let me give some context to those of you who don't play tabletop games. In Dungeons & Dragons and other tabletop games, you need certain items to cast magic spells, and I love having physical props at the table. After all, there's nothing more anticlimactic than winning a battle and being told you found a bag of gemstones just to have to write down some numbers on a piece of paper. And writing it down on a piece of paper just doesn't have the same vibe as holding something in your hand. The problem is, having random little gemstones on the table, you kind of forget what's what. So my solution is an in-world gemstone authenticator. If magical items are being used in this world to cast spells, but they need to be at a certain value, you'd assume that there's someone in that world authenticating that they are actually worth that, so that when you go to cast your spell, you're not coming up shortchanged. My goal here being to give both DMs and players a better way to track their loot, while also giving you that something physical to hold so you feel the weight of using components when casting a spell. And if this is something I want to introduce to my game, I'm going to need a prop to hand over to my players. If we're going to be making authenticated gemstones, we're going to need some gemstones.
So I went down to my local dollar shop and craft section and found a whole heap of cheap craft rhinestones. I grabbed as many different shapes and varieties and sizes and colours as I could find, even though later I realised it's only really 3 stones to get used in D&D, but I'm going to make a whole heap of different varieties anyway because, well, I can, and we can do a lot of homebrew stuff with them. While I'm at the craft shop, I also picked up a few of these bits of reflective cardboard. They'll come in handy later. Now that we have a big variety of different gemstones, we've got to build out a base for the tokens. My first build will be the most intensive. We're going to be using the laser cutter and cutting out some 3mm basswood and some leatherette material. I'm still experimenting with the laser cutter, so I'm coming in here with a heap of different spray paints to basically make a test piece of wood to see what I like most. Now while that's drying, I need to come up with a design to cut out of the wood, and while I could just use a plain rectangle or circle or something, I want something a bit more interesting if these are going to be magical items. So for that, I'm jumping over to public domain vectors. All of the imagery on this website is public domain and freely available, and I love it. I found a shape that I liked, downloaded it, and brought it over to Lightburn, which is the software that I'm using for my laser cutter. I outlined the shape, and there we go. With a little bit of stretch and squash, I had a beautiful outline shape for my token. Then I just played around adding some more shapes to build out the rough idea of what I wanted for the token. I am still getting used to this software, so it took me a lot of playing around. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of this part, but I took this basic design and expanded it into a wider range and adding a few more details. Now our paint is dry, it's time to throw this in the laser cutter and cut out our first test. I gotta say, it's always really pleasantly surprising when these things just work. And they really did work. These look great. Having a few different varieties of colour is awesome. They're incredibly legible and they feel really cool in hand. Now it's time to add in our stones. This is where the magic really happens. These cheap rhinestones, when slotted into place, just bring the whole thing to life. Now, when I was putting together the design, I knew what sizes I had for all of these different rhinestones. So I made the cutouts perfectly sized for the measurements, leaving a 0.2mm gap just to give that little bit of extra wiggle room. Additionally, and probably obviously, as the sizes of the gems go up, the value does accordingly. This seems obvious to me, but I thought I'd point it out here just in case. Additionally, different shapes, like in the rubies here, or different colours can give more options for different values. After all, variety is the spice of life. Now, we're not quite done with these yet. Taking inspiration from my previous spell tokens build, we're going to cut out some leatherette backing to make it look a bit more high quality. After all, these are meant to be premium products. So I designed a couple of options and cut them out with the laser cutter on this fake leather. Then glued a few to our tokens to test out what style I liked. And of the 3 that I tested, this was my winner. Nice and simple. So I got to mass producing. Now that I have a whole set of these, it's time to just start gluing them onto the back of our tokens, giving us a really clean and premium looking product.
And now these have come out looking great. The feel of the wood and leatherette in hand actually feels like something that belongs in a fantasy world, and that's my kind of prop. But admittedly, the price of a laser cutter is a bit much for some people, even though they are getting a lot more affordable, and there are more materials and steps required for this. So let's try something that a lot of crafters out there already have access to: a 3D printer. And don't worry if you don't have access to a 3D printer or a laser cutter, because we have the super cheap DIY version coming up just after this. Now, in order to 3D print it, I'm going to need to convert it into an STL 3D model, and these don't just appear out of nowhere. So I'm going to jump over to Bamboo Labs and import my SVG. And for the record, STL and SVG are just file types. If you're not doing 3D printing, that won't matter to you anyway. Back to it. I played around with some multicolor adjustments with different layers and built out my model. Once I sliced it, however, I realized very quickly that it just wouldn't work at this scale. So I scaled it up and gave it a test print just so I could see how it would look. It came out looking great, but this is too big for what I want. So back to the drawing board. We're going to have to redesign it far more basic, keeping in mind the size of the nozzle on my printer. So text had to be at least 0.2 millimeters wide. Then I just grabbed a diamond vector and threw it on the back as an adjustment so we could have some multicolor on both sides of our token. Once I checked the slice, that looked good. Now it's time to print. That took like no time at all to print, being so small, and it looks great. However, by using multiple layers of different colors, there was quite a bit of wastage. You could solve this problem with different printers such as the H2D, but I don't have access to that. As to not waste so much material, I redesigned it so the top layer was extruded rather than multicolor, and just the bottom layer had our diamonds. Now I'm saving a lot of filament, and I can just come in with a paint pan or something similar to fill in that text and all the raised areas to make them pop. Sure, it takes a little bit longer than multicolor printing, but I actually think it looks way better. Now, it's time to add the gemstones. Not gonna lie, these turned out way nicer than I anticipated. The Sparkle Galaxy bamboo filament looks perfect for a magical token, but there was one more thing I did for a final set, and that's put a raised edge. Now I have two full sets, but both of them do still require fairly expensive tools. So now we're going to be making the most bare bones, basic, cheap version of this build as we possibly can, so that literally anyone could use this system at their table. And for this, I'm pulling back out that reflective cardboard that I got from the dollar store earlier. This stuff is cheap and it's just cardboard, so I can cut it easily with scissors. I'm going to trim it down to roughly the same size as our earlier tokens, but I can't be bothered making them as detailed, so I'm just going to trim off the corners to give them a little bit more shape. Now, to give the white side a little bit more of a natural feel, I'm going to just tear up some of these local shopping bags and glue them in place because they're a nice and natural brown. I'm just using some cheap tacky glue for this, and it holds in place really nicely. Once that's cleaned up, it's time to add in our jewel, and then essentially just draw all over the front to add in your design. This is as basic as it gets: a piece of cardboard, a pen with a plastic rhinestone. You don't need the decorative cardboard, but it does make a nice difference. These are super basic, but I'm going to make a few just to show a little bit more variety. Now, with a better design skill and cleaner handwriting, you can make these look a lot nicer, but I'm going to try and improve them with this sticky back tile thing from my local Bunnings. It's some kind of sticky wall tile, but it cuts really easy and has a sticky back. This gives some nice weight and stability to the token before we add on that same old school paper and a glittery border. There are tons of different ways that you could approach these builds, using different materials and sort of just hacking them together to work in whatever way you can manage. As long as you've got a gemstone on there and a value, they'll serve the purpose. And with that, we have three very different types of the exact same prop build, whether you're using a 3D printer, a laser cutter, or just cutting them out with cardboard. I'm calling these GemCoins for now, but please, if you've got a better name, let me know in the comments below, because GemCoin kind of makes me think of cryptocurrency, and yeah, not what I'm looking for. While I was pretty happy with the 3D prints, I did end up redesigning them all in a variety of different colors. This is designed to print using an AMS with the Bamboo Lab system. Yes, it's going to produce a heck of a lot more waste, but it does make it handy to be able to bulk print these out. Now that I have a few different varieties of these, and honestly more than I could ever need myself, I'll be able to run them in my game. I'm pretty keen to use them as loot for different dungeons, knowing that I can actually set them up to be
correct for my players. So if I know my healer is going to need a diamond worth 300 or 500 for a particular spell, I can set up that he will find that particular item while they're running around. I know I could do this on paper as well, but by having it behind the DM screen, it just makes it easier for me to grab at it when I need it. It also means that my players are going to not only have what they need, but know they've got it in front of them. Then they get to hand it back over to me once they've used it, really putting weight in the choice to spend that item. Additionally, I can just hand them out as loot. Instead of saying they got treasure, I can give them different diamonds and jewels. Then building that into my world, like I mentioned earlier, as an actual part of the universe with a gemstone authenticator, I can start building up an entire guild and system of trade where these particular things can come in extra handy for different things outside of just spellcasting. These can just be treasures that they find and trade for various other loots or items. Otherwise, we can make even more homebrew using these different gemstones as magical items or treasures that need to be collected for anything, really. I think this might just be the beginning of this whole process, as now I want to build more in-world props and systems that can add to play, but also feel like we're actually more immersed in the world we're playing in. So with that in mind, it's only fair that you should be able to get this stuff yourself at home. The laser cut files are available on my Patreon, as are the digital printing files, but you can also now get them at sebmakestuff.com.au, where I'll also be selling physical prints. You need to go to .com.au, not .com, because someone else snuck in and got that before I managed to register it. So for now, we're going to be at sebmakestuff.com.au until I come up with a more fantastical name for my fantasy shop. I'll be selling the 3D prints, as well as the premium laser and leather feel that feels like you're really in the world. These will be available in addition to other spell scrolls and different things that I'm making, and hopefully more props and dice and potions and things like that in the future. And 3D print on demand terrain. There's a whole thing I'm planning, but we'll see how that goes. But for now, I am stoked with my GemCoins. Maybe not the name, but the build itself came out awesome. I have so many of these myself, and I can't wait to start selling them. I hope you guys have liked this build. If you have any thoughts on how I could have done better or what you'd like to see me do next, let me know in the comments for this video, as well as naming options for the GemCoins. I really hope you guys have found some inspiration in today's video, and until next time, never stop making stuff. It actually took a lot of time to get the settings just right on those 3D prints, but I think I might make that its own video.